Liberal MP Han Dong, leaving Liberal caucus, denies allegations of working against release of two Michaels. This is the Grey White North Report. Global News broke a story concerning Liberal MP Han Dong, representing Don Valley North in Toronto, and that he secretly advised the Chinese diplomat in 2021 to delay freeing Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor, as it would help the Conservatives more than the Liberals in any upcoming election. Now, this is a serious allegation, and Global News cited two unnamed national security sources who believed that he was a writing affiliate of China's interference campaign in Canada. These are very serious allegations. I'm not saying if they're true or not myself. I'm sitting on the fence and going to wait. But it seems like there's a lot of whistleblowing going on over in the national security. Now, he is at the center of Chinese influence allegations. So both sources said Dong allegedly suggested to Han Tao, China's consul general in Toronto, that if Beijing released the two Michaels whom China accused of espionage, the opposition conservatives would benefit. I don't know how true that is. If they were released and it appeared that Trudeau had been working hard behind the scenes to get them, then it would be a Liberal win, not a Conservative win. So I don't see how that would happen, but at the same time it's possible, because the Conservatives have been pressing the Liberals for ever since to take a harder stance on China. MP Dong did confirm that he did speak to the Consul General, but that it had nothing to do with Kovrig and Spavor. Well, I don't know why you would talk in 2021 about anything else. So I imagine that conversation did come up, though we don't know which way it went. The Prime Minister's office only became aware of that conversation because of this Global News report. So he's been doing things behind the PMO's office, not at the direction of the Liberal Party. This is his own doing. But that does make sense. He is, after all, part of the Canada-Shanghai Business Association. He was born in Shanghai, moved to Canada at the age of 13 with his parents. So he does have connections to China and a memory of that place. He is also the co-chair of the Canada-China Legislative Association, which is the Canadian group that provides a forum for discussion of bilateral, multilateral challenges facing the two countries in the Asian Pacific region. Promotes the exchange of information between Canadian parliamentarians, representatives of the National People's Congress of the People's Republic of China, the CCP, and diplomats posted in China and Canada. So they have annual bilateral meetings between Canadian federal parliamentarians and their counterparts from the National People's Congress. Well, a Consul General does not constitute that. Consul Generals do not sit in the National People's Congress. So there's no real reason for Mr. Dong to be talking to the Consul General without notifying his own Liberal colleagues. So it doesn't look good that way for him. Dong himself stipulated at the outset it was both a personal and work-related conversation. Well, if it's a personal conversation, so going back to Kovrig and Spavor, Dong also allegedly recommended that Beijing shows some progress in the Kovrig and Spavor cases. Such a move would help the ruling Liberal Party, which is facing an uproar over China's inhumane treatment of the two Michaels. So if China had showed a little more leniency and compassion towards Kovrig and Spavor, resolved the hostage diplomacy case, then it would have helped the Liberals immensely. Anything else was giving the Conservatives more ammunition against the Liberals. Did it work? Not really in the Conservatives' favor. They didn't win more seats, and Kovrig and Spavor were eventually released under Trudeau's watch. Now, Dong stipulated at the outset that it was both a personal and work-related conversation. What really went on, we really don't know, and we probably never will find out the truth. Now, he is leaving the Liberal caucus. He's going to sit as an independent from now on. So the Liberals lose one seat, and there's an independent, but that doesn't mean much. He'll probably still vote with the Liberals on more issues than not, and doesn't really change the dynamics a great deal. He vows to refute absolutely untrue claims, which means he has less influence within the House of Commons. Now, there is some controversy concerning him and his voting practices. The National Post, Global Times, and CBC also went over this. It appears that he was not present on two votes over the Uyghur genocide. In the latest vote in 2023, Dong was present for votes on other motions immediately before and after this government vote. So he He abstained and said that he cast several votes in Parliament that could be deemed hostile to China, including votes to include Taiwan in the World Health Organization. Now, I actually went through the voting history of Mr. Dong, and you can go all the way to the 43rd. Nothing for health, nothing for world. Taiwan, nothing there. China. The only thing I can see that he opposed the opposition motion for a special committee on Canada-China relations. He's opposed this on several occasions, apparently. What that would do is it's an opposition motion to look into our relationship with China, especially after the Kovrig-Spavor and that stupid wench, Meng the Merciless. Again, in 2020, he opposed an opposition motion for a foreign policy towards China. It's nothing special. Anytime the opposition does something, the ruling party will immediately shoot it down. So that's bipartisanship. I'm just trying to see where else he stood. Nothing on world. Nothing on Uyghurs. Just because it's yeah and nay, it doesn't say what he abstained on. Let's go to the next one. Again, nothing on the Uyghurs. China again on May 16, 2022. Said nay to a special committee on the Canada People's Republic of China relationship, which was another opposition motion. Absolutely nothing on Taiwan. WHO, no. World, no. I looked at all the ones for health. There was nothing about the World Health Organization. Let's try another. Nothing on genocide. So I don't think Parliament didn't actually vote to include Taiwan in the World Health Organization. The Prime Minister's office, they approved to try and include Taiwan in the World Health Organization. Not saying that he did personally, because I don't see him casting any votes concerning that. I don't even think the topic ever came up in the House of Commons. So he can claim that, but whether it's true or not, I don't know. But he did skip a couple of votes on the Uyghur genocide, and he did oppose anything concerning a foreign policy towards China. So at the same time, he hasn't been contacted by the RCMP, Elections Canada, or the Canadian Security Intelligence Services. So no one's contacted him personally. No one's asked him to testify or do anything. But he has stepped down, which means there's a lot of pressure. Now he might play the racist card towards Asians. That doesn't work. Where I work, there's a lot of Asians and and several Chinese, and there's no hint of racism in that direction, openly anyway. I don't know about privately what people think, but in open discussions, there's nothing like that. Everyone's pretty respectful of each other. And the same in the city I live in. I don't see a lot of anti-racism beyond, and not anything beyond the norm that you would normally expect during a day-to-day thing. So you can't really play the race card. I know North Toronto there's a large ethnic Chinese community of recent immigrants to Canada. So it would be a spot that the Chinese Communist Party would like to infiltrate if they did, and probably have one of their secret police stations up in that way. So his voting record doesn't give us any indication where he sits, other than that he's not exactly opposed to China in any shape or form. He does belong to several organizations which would have ties to the Chinese Communist Party. So it does look suspicious. But until we know more, I'm going to sit on the fence on this one. Resigning from the Liberal caucus was probably the smartest thing he could do. But let's hope we find out more about Chinese interference in our elections, because I do believe that happened. And see where it goes from there. But anyway, Canadians out there, let me know what you guys think of Mr. Han Dong stepping down from the Liberals, and where does this lead us to next? Leave comments in the comment section, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Until the next time, this has been the Great White North Report.